Now, for all of you that were paying attention to my birthday this year when I became 35, and you like to play the Who's the One game and Who's the Snoop game and all that jazz, you didn't pay attention. You didn't pay attention to 2 p.m., 7 cigarettes, Boss Faggot, Jesus Shuttlesworth. You didn't pay attention to the confusion 2 weeks ago in your game that I'm not allowed to see you when you play. At any rate, once absolved, how quickly did you immediately betray me? Enjoy your weekends. Get sherm-headed high off Kush and forget the things that I said that I shouldn't have said or should have said that didn't resonate to you because they weren't specifically for you, but they were specifically for someone that you cared about specifically more than I. At any rate, spoiled in the heat is what you think about me. It's what you think of and for me. All of these years of being tormented by video games drove me crazy and insane. And you don't play video games, do you? You don't wag the dog, do you? No, you don't play video games. You don't play video games on my level, any level, at any time. While you drive around the 903 and the nation, as well as the world, shooting uncircumcised penis kids that don't have the choice in the head or heart. Flawless victories. No, you don't. But you do thank Rabbi Jesus for that cut of charity, cut of love, cut of got cut what in the butt with a bumpy razor dildo that had splinters as the only amount of suffering this person has done their entire life of on the run from King Herod with responsible parents to attain gold, frankincense, and myrrh from noble men that would never forget this child of the North Star. And I do stress that North Star to you heavily. 33 years on the run as everybody that was a Jew that wanted him murdered had their firstborn child murdered. What's fair is fair. If under your authority we can't gamble in the church like we can now in every form of gambling, including sexually, in the church on demand. So, said a lot of things. Sweet tea did not get unsweet on me today like she did as Big Bird the other day. And as these days progress, you forget whom you are. You forget whom offered me food yesterday, or at least inquired about it. And you forget what loyalty is every step of the way, as in 3 calendar summers, spoiled to the heat, with although Undertaker preacher surrounded by a bunch of meth heads trying to get into Cat Daddy's super lab since Warren was alive. Well, when you have heart for them, you have heart for Vashon, you have heart for Vashon's kids, you get twisted and confused about $2 to $40. and receiving donations from a place that received donations from and giving donations to Highway 80 Missions in Longview, Texas. So you retrace everything, it all comes back, culmination as to my firstborn daughter by Timbrisha having so many daddies and so many neighbors that looks like the grandpappy daddy that hurt baby the most. And that's not happening anymore in any degree of mech driving sisters. No matter how reverent Timbrisha is being relevant to me, particularly, and all of our lives in existence. Important. Thinking she's Shanina, and she's not at all. She is logically my choice, as well as Tamara is undeniably my gluttony. That I am on the run from, for sure, because I cannot handle someone the same size but bigger, voluptuous, manhandling me during the days of What If God Was a Woman, as well as Bubble Yum walking tall through the city of Mount Pleasant as if from an Indian reservation. Definitely seduced by Coca Smoker Joker. At any rate, this is a brief synopsis in detail of the last 2 weeks of the weeks before, when I prepared all of you that my debit card was going to be frozen soon, and I prepared you yet again when I told you about Terrence Shepard, and I told you about writing Harvard, and I told you about green Bentleys that fit 10 people, eating gold pressed latinum, and a whole bunch of things that I told you about to keep me comfortable since a long time ago, like 2 years. Because I've had this flight suit for a very, very long time. The price of fiber optics is very, very cheap in comparison to before Windows 95. So I think I'm owed a bit of gratitude having to deal with Hazel, Wilma, all and a lot of cut on the Grand Prix from 1994 type shit that just happens from giving people like Rat 2 or 3 cookies and never getting paid, having to send your cousin out into the world with $200 just to make it. However, he lies. So I await Timbrisha to have the realization, the actualization that she is, although Reverend Tamara's Redux and the reverence does the most detail in the mingling, because we would just like to be together. And you can take that any connotative of how you heard it, because there's no other objective for us to do other than blast Sonic 2 at 100 times the volume on a 100-inch TV That is our objective. What is yours while you're not smoking marijuana in town square like we did when Nate was alive? Have a good day.